All right, welcome to another week of Ether Rays. This is Astra season, and we are starting off here a bit late, I guess, but it is what it is. We keep moving. A lot of these are going to be done in post since I had literally nothing to talk about prior to the week starting. I'm just making it up as I go along. I went into this week with a particular plan in mind, which was to get a lot of usage get more practice with Sharena. That was really the plan, to see how that would go. So here she is. I think I've mentioned that she's on a couple of teams for this week. This is one of them. And I also wanted to put Tana back on the team, so she's on a couple of teams as well. First time seeing is it the first time? Maybe second time seeing a Diamant here, a legendary Diamant. I'm quite surprised at how easy he folds. Like, he just breaks so easily. Given all of the flat damage reduction and all of the stuff that he's got going on, he dies way more easily than I would have imagined. So, I don't know, fraud. Big fraud. Unless you probably pair him with in comparison to the Ryoma that just came out, Ryoma blows him out of the water in terms of just damage reduction and performance, speed. It's very impressive that, I don't know what they did in terms of, stuff, but the difference is clear. Like, just reading Ryoma's kit alone, I was able to notice that there was a big difference between him and how Diamant was able to perform. So, quite surprising that they gave a seasonal unit. Well, not even a seasonal unit that isn't in. Well, I guess it's not surprising that they gave a unit that isn't in the regular pool of the goods, as opposed to a unit that is going to be on frequent rerun legendary banners. So I guess there's something to that. But yeah, just making it up as I go along. Like I said, performance-wise, Diamant definitely could have been better. I didn't pull for him. Probably, at least that's something for me to look forward to whenever his rerun comes about. There's going to be 2 units on the banner for me to get potentially. I really thought that, especially with the Brave effect, he'd be so much better.
What now?
But then I guess it depends on the team composition, as do most things in the game these days. It's really, how you build your team around the things that you have there available. Kind of wanted to go here on turn 1, but it just wasn't possible because of all the structures that were in the way. Really, Camilla would have been the only one that would have been able to get up there, and that. Even Tana here taking him out, that's insane. And Tana she doesn't have one shot too. Tana doesn't have all the stuff that he has, And she doesn't even have half the stuff that this Diamant has, so I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, but we keep going. Like I said, I really want to give Thor the Hinoka fodder. I've been going in that banner sporadically. That's the word, sporadically, trying to get a random copy of both Hinoka and Ryoma, but so far no luck. I'm probably going to have to go to Spark. Hopefully it sticks around for quite a bit, so that I can get that to come off. But for now, my luck is just not in. But yeah, it's fine. Hope it'll happen eventually. I have pretty much everything set up to give. Also, I need. Hinoka is probably I need 2 copies of Hinoka because I want someone to give Gale Force Myths to, and I'm pretty sure that Flyers can get it. So I need to give Gale Force Myths to Hinoka, then give Gale Force Myth to Thor, give Thor the B skill, give Thor maybe even Trample because I got a spare copy of that as well, and I think should be. But then it kind of negates the whole reflective damage thing. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But I got a ton of fodder for Thor. Maybe I'll just wait. Maybe it's even better to just wait until she's back on a Forge and Bond Binding Royals thing, so you can pick up everything there. But I don't know. That's my plan for Thor. Looking forward to using her whenever the next. Hopefully, I get all of that stuff by next season. It shouldn't be too long. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan here. As you can see, Thor still. Man, she is such a good mythic. I really love that they leaned into her Gale Force potential, and there are so many ways that her refine could have went, and they really took the correct option in terms of what they gave to her in terms of build and future-proofing, because I don't think this is going to fall off anytime soon. GG's. You're going to see a couple more here. All right, here we go with the second match. I believe this one was looking at more of the same. These units are just, this team is just that good, so just no reason for me to not use it. We're gonna keep going forward here with pretty similar plan. Here we go, another Diamant. Same process, more than likely. Should be able to take him out and keep it going from there. But yeah, like I said, man, Thor, very, very good refine and remix. She has definitely, before her refine and remix, she was okay with the armor effective damage, but then after that, kind of just shot up in my eyes in terms of potential. So I don't know, maybe she's like gonna be the blue. I don't know who else they could. I was really hoping Astra would get something similar, but they just kind of shit the bed. They didn't do very well with Astra, to be honest. I don't think they knew what they wanted to give him, and just gave him a bunch of stuff that ultimately amounted to nothing. So yeah, too bad. He's my highest merged light mythic, and still useless. So unless you need a smite bot or something, but for whatever it's worth. I feel like pretty much all of the Beast refines and remixes have been particularly bad.
Close your eyes.
Thinking about it. Yeah, pretty much all of them have been bad. Even the dragons, like Naga didn't really get anything that made her substantially better than she was. She did the same thing plus attack and speed up 6. So that's probably like a indication of where we're going with these refines. I can't imagine they do the same to Nerthus, because Nerthus has such a good base with the reflective damage. I don't see how they can mess that up, but yeah, pretty much all of them have been pretty bad, relatively speaking. I mean, even on defense, what's your Embla? That wasn't great either. There was like the key element that it needed to be good, which was the output to be on both player phase and enemy phase, and they just didn't do it. So yeah, a lot of duds in the refines and remixes for the Beast units, and a trend. And I guess that's probably something you can consider now whenever you're invested into these mythics. Probably want to stay away from them, I guess. At least that's what I would recommend, because I just have not been impressed thus far with any of them that they've put out. They've all fell off relatively quickly after the refines and remixes, and a lot of them had potential to be good. IS just did not give them the goods, which is weird. No reason for them to treat them in this particular way, but I don't know. It's going to be really interesting once Nerthus's refine and remix comes about, because I don't see how she's a Gale Force unit. All she needs to do is survive and hit harder. That's all they need to give her, and I don't see how they're going to be able to mess that up, but I'm pretty sure that they will. And they have templates of what to give her from her ults, like the 5 ults that she had after the fact. So yeah, I think Nerthus has a ton of potential to get a good refine and remix, but it's down to whether or not they actually give it to her, I guess. Tangent. Did not figure that I'd be talking about that, but just something that crossed my mind. We're pretty much done here. Just gotta get rid of a few more units. It's a little bit tricky because placement is a concern, and the save unit is posing a problem here. Trying to figure out who we're gonna leave for last is the issue.
Night's blessing.
But yeah, that's just where we are. I don't see how this baby Gulliver will age badly either. She's so good, so useful, man. Yeah, there was something that extra action. You're right. The summoning circle. I had this idea of how it would interact with the and turn mechanic that the new Heimdall, yeah, how her end turn mechanic works. I'm wondering how it will interact with the summoning circle. One of the ways to get around her thing is that Felix is just able to do it because he essentially burns an action and then is able to attack again with his remaining action. I'm pretty sure the summoning circle should work in a similar sense when she comes out. I guess she has to be a defense mythic. I don't see where the value for that would be for what she does, where the value for that would be on offense. It's really more of a defensive improvement. So I could definitely see her fitting into that role, coming out in that capacity. And the summoning circle seems to be a way to help us to fight her, but on turn 3 again, waste of time. I don't know if I really hope they put it to turn 2 with like an upgrade or something. That's really something that I'm hoping they eventually do at some point. I can really see the benefits of it there. Currently waiting until turn 3, or maybe her thing will be locked on a HP condition, so when the bolt tower goes off, then she loses the status effects. I don't know. Maybe that's how it'll work, but or maybe even like an AoE will counter her. I don't know. Alright, just a couple more and then we'll be done. Gale forcing throughout the week. It seems like, honestly, I've been trying to tank. Like there's a few maps on my friends list that I've been trying to tank on, and it has not gone well. Yeah, it it has not gone well. Sita is definitely showing her age, and I really need to pair her with someone that can help her out with far save. It's not that she's really good against calves and armored units. Everything else kind of melts her. Like, she got blown up by a Nurgle, which was insane. I was trying to tank. Well, to be fair, that's not her job. She's not supposed to be tanking infantry range threats like that aren't calves. But yeah, I was very surprised that a Nurgle blew her up. Nurgle, who, in my opinion, is really creeping back up in the meta. Like, I'd recommend you can start dusting your Nurgles off and getting him back into the teams. I feel like Astra season in particular is looking a bit more Nurgle focused, Nurgle's favor. Here's just a side note, if you're wondering about what to do about all these armored save balls that are running into your defense and blowing you up, or just tanking everything. Nurgle is a good counter to that. And I was very surprised at how hard he's able to hit now with a lot of the new specials that we've gotten. Ice Wall, Frost Moon, stuff like that. He hits so much harder now, and he's even tankier. So it's not like he fell off. He's gotten stronger in his dormancy. So yeah, I am very high on the Nurgs, on Nurgle. So you can definitely expect to see some content from me with him in it. I really tried to make him work on offense, but just burning that extra action, like I said, to steal the bonuses, that wasn't it. So he's probably going to feature somewhere else. That aside, I've been, thinking about getting back into Summoner Duels, given the fact that there's going to be no end to the Camilla factor or the Camilla effect. It seems like we're just going to be getting more of it, which was the opposite of what I was hoping for. I was hoping that, she would get hard countered and then we'd just be over it. But it looks like IS is leaning more into that direction, and I gotta now figure out, what my strategy is moving forward, because it was never really something that I wanted to give up completely. I just wanted to wait to see until Camilla was done, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna be happening anytime soon. Erica, I was fine with, but Camilla, just being able to get right into your face from so far away was always a pain. And it looks like that is here to stay. So I don't know, gonna start probably theory crafting some teams and trying to see how other people have been making it work with their favorites in Summoner Duels, even though Camilla is a thing. So yeah, that's something that I'm gonna probably start doing if I can make the time for it at the very least. not looking forward to it. Not like I have to, but there's a ton of rewards there that I just haven't been getting recently, so I should probably start getting those before, you know, I'm not able to anymore. This is not going the greatest, particularly. I feel like I've put myself in a bit of a corner here with some of the plays that I've made. I really wanted that trap to be real, to be honest, but did not work out that way. But we'll keep going here. Hopefully we'll be able to figure it out as we go along in this particular match. Really need to pin Athos at the very least for this to work, or, you know, take him out. I don't know. We'll see. So this was action, and then from there. I'm not like the biggest Sharena fan. I don't know. There's something about her that I find annoying. I don't know if it's because of how happy she always is, but there's just something about her that doesn't sit right with me. Kind of puts me on edge. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, did not get my extra action. Yeah, I really wanted Camilla to reactivate there. Well, that's bad.
I seek a foe.
I don't actually think there's a way that I can recover here. I can warp behind, but yeah, this isn't looking very good.
If Lady Embla were here.
Yeah, I definitely think I messed this one up. Some of the positioning here, and also what's the word? Misused. Misused is not the word. I got it wrong with Sharena's thing. I was supposed to attack with Camilla before Sharena, if that makes sense. I got it mixed up, so I lost an action, which means I lost 2 actions, really. So yeah, now we can't really win this one. I don't see a way back here. I wanted to warp behind Marth and, you know, try to figure out a spot there. If this trap wasn't real, I'd break the structure and go up there, but that trap is real, so we're going to lose an action if we try. And also take chip damage, which doesn't help us in any case, so yeah, this is a loss. I'm just trying to, you know, think through if there's a way to, you know, salvage it, but really there isn't. Yeah, sometimes mistakes happen, especially when you're working with using a new unit, which is what Veronica is in terms of just me being able to play with her, just not being too familiar. These things do happen from time to time, but it's okay. Ultimately, what would have happened is that, or how it should have worked is that we're going to end Marth. We're going to end Marth, his turn, and take out the other 2 blue units, but we got stuck here, and it just ended badly. We're going to end his turn with Baby Golvik and then essentially lock him out so that we could move freely on the next turn, but yeah, it just didn't go our way here.
I seek a foe.
But it's fine. There were other matches after this, and we did do a bit better, so, you know, it is what it is. But I was really locked in trying to figure this one out, and it just ended up not going my way. So this was the recovery attempt. Another map here with Marth, who has become so popular in pretty much every season. I feel like everyone is using him because of the support that he offers and the Vantage. Both of those things are very, very strong in this current meta. His ability to basically be a solo unit in terms of being able to tank Emblem Lyn is also fantastic. And he's just in terms of like a perfectly designed unit, I feel like he's the closest thing that we have to that in the game currently. He just does everything that you need him to do to a sufficient capacity. He's not like completely overpowered or broken or anything like that. And he just works very well with support, and he offers support. So they really put a lot of thought into how to build this unit well. And they did a fantastic job, if you ask me. Whereas, you know, you look at someone like I was saying earlier in the video, Embla, and they just did not do a very good job with Embla. And none of the Beast units, in my opinion, that got their refine and remixes. Sadly, it's like IS can do it when they want to, and they just choose not to very consistently. And for the life of me, I don't know why, because the game would just be more fun if you had more units that were broken, right? Am I right? At least that's what I think. More options is never a bad thing, but I guess also that would mean that you probably won't summon on the new banner a few months down the line. I guess that's what it means. But yeah, I'm very high on having the ability to do exactly what you want to do when you want to do it, and then let them brainstorm new inventive mechanics to put into the game, which is they've done a consistently good job of introducing new things, like Reflex and Imbue. Those came out of nowhere, and Reflex was already in the game, and Imbue is kind of just a spin-off of Breath of Life, so I guess it's not completely new, but Breath of Life was new at one point, and so was Reflex. Both of those things were new at one point, and they just improved on them. So yeah, there's definitely capacity for them to do more, and I'm just looking forward to them doing just that. There's just so many ideas that you can implement into the game that just have not been done yet, and a lot of times they lock themselves into a way of thinking that just doesn't move the game forward, and we just end up stagnating, which sucks. But we're gonna be through it. We're gonna be here for it, good or bad. We're just gonna keep playing and trying to find new ways to make the game enjoyable. Like I was saying earlier about trying to get back into Summoner Duels and trying to figure out team compositions and stuff. It looks like a lot of Black Knights and Camillas. And Byleth as well. Very Summoner Duels community is very high on Byleth. Of course, because he has that 3-space mobility. I'm not as high on him. Speed-based unit, so there's ways to play around him. But I would probably end up using Erica instead or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I really want that Ryoma. He looks like he's going to be a beast, especially in that game mode, Summoner Duels. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes, like I said. And really, I'm just going to be focused on how do I get Sita to keep going, because she's the only unit that I have close to the max score, and I'm just going to keep using the two of those. Her and Edelgard, Brave Edelgard are the two. I don't really want to build someone else. It takes forever, and there's no benefit to you doing it multiple times. Getting to the max number of the max favor, there's no benefit to you. Like once you get all the rewards, that's it. There should be a second tier or a lower tier of rewards, or just something to get out of the game for doing it multiple times and not just wasting your time. That's really what it feels like. Just to get another unit all the way back up the rankings. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have to drop Fjorm, because it was her, Fjorm, Sedith, and Ninja Lucina. Sita, Fjorm, Sedith, Ninja Lucina, and I forget, Yunaka was the nuke. And I feel like that's still a pretty decent team composition. It's just that it folds to Camilla. It's just not enough on that particular team to deal with Camilla. So I don't know if it's going to require for me to, get rid of Fjorm, who really benefits from the speed support from Sedith, which is why that team is set up like that. And then also Yunaka as well benefits from the speed support. And Lucina is the action economy unit. So I don't know who I would take out of that particular team comp to make it better. I don't know. I don't see it. But I don't know. Maybe it just works now. Maybe a skill issue. I don't know what it is, but I'd really love to be able to use that team again. And then Edelgard, Brave Edelgard, just put her on a team and figure it out. Her team composition isn't as locked as Sita's is. In terms of who would I replace with Fjorm, Ice Fjorm, I don't know, because Ice Fjorm has that dual button that, the Ice Terrain. So that's pretty hard to replace. What save unit could I put in to replace that effect with? And then, Sedith, very good support. If you're running speed-based units, you just can't drop him. He does so much in that role that what did I say was the closest thing? Marth, and I don't. Marth could probably play a part on a team like that. I don't know if it's enough, but that's an option that he gives. Yeah, okay, Marth might be it actually. Okay, so we could probably swap out Marth for Sedith for Marth. That's one option potentially. So I'll look into that, and then also Ninja Lucina, who is the action economy unit. Maybe I could swap her out. But she's also range. Maybe I could swap her out for her, because I do have her latest version. So maybe that's something that I could do, but I just haven't built around the melee version yet. So I don't know. But then the dual button to get the extraction and the flame terrain. There's a lot there. There's decisions. You know, decisions. But successfully cleared our final map for the day. You'll see
I'll do it.
a few more from me. I don't know. Like I said, I have nothing really to talk about. I'm gonna watch DTM stream today, see if I get any inspiration. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're gonna wrap this one up, man. It's been a pretty successful week so far, aside from that one mishap. GG's.